as you will probably remember, Gudrun, last time you were here, we asked you which book changed your life, and I believe you cheated and gave us two.
I would like me.
So we have a slightly different question for you today, which is, which one historical story changed your life or had a big impact on your life, I suppose?
So I had a good think about this because it's hard to pick just one. So I thought, if you'll indulge me, I'll give you a family history story.
Cheating again.
Which I very, very rarely do. I don't do family history.
We'll allow it.
So this is basically, this story is about my grandmother, and the reason it changed my life is because depending on how things had gone, none of us would have been here.
Ooh, I like that take on it. Okay. Yeah.
So if things had gone the way they were supposed to, she wouldn't have been here, and none of her children would have been here, and some of her grandchildren would have been here. So my nana was born just down the road from where I live now, in a little community right on the banks of the river, and she was her family were shipyard builders. So Bilkey is known for the shipbuilding, and then there are a lot of mines. So people on this side of the river, their families are either shipbuilders or miners. Her family were Jewish, and so during the war, the adults were very concerned about the safety of the children. So she and her younger brother were evacuated up to Northumberland, and they decided that the family decided that wasn't safe enough, because they were Jewish children, but they were also from a wealthy family. The family were actually the shipyard owners. So the decision was taken to send them overseas, to have them evacuated. And the plan was that they would go from Liverpool to Canada. And the ship they should have been on was the SS City of Benares, which went from Liverpool in 1940. So my nana would have been 13 or 14, and her brother was about 9 or 10, Uncle Bob. And the plan was they go to Liverpool from Newcastle, and they board the steamer. And I don't know what happened. She's never been clear about what it was that happened. The decision was made not to send them to Canada, but to send them to Australia. And they went on the SS Battery instead. And so the two ships left Liverpool at the same time, the City of Benares for Canada and the Battery to Australia, to Perth. And as they were coming out of the harbour, the Germans bombed the ship. And what they did was they bombed the City of Benares and killed almost every person on board, all the children, all the adults who were accompanying them, all of the crew. And the ships also, because it was a huge passenger liner, they also transported troops. So all of the troops, the majority of the troops were killed as well. And the ship to Australia went on its merry way. And it was after that they actually stopped evacuating. So evacuating overseas at that scale didn't last very long. So had things gone as planned, she and Bob would have been intended to be evacuated to Canada and not made it outside of Liverpool docks. There's a book called The Singing Ship by a woman called Meta McLean, and she went on the ship as a young woman as a chaperone, and she actually wrote the book. And somewhere, I've been looking for it, it isn't in here, I did manage to track down a copy when I was in Australia. I got 2 copies, and I gave one to my nana and I kept one for myself, and it's somewhere here. I'm looking around my office because I've got books here, but it's not here. But yeah, so the story of that journey is told in this book, which you can buy. It's quite hard to get a hold of. You know, my nana's experiences on the ship, she used to sleepwalk. She had to have a soldier posted outside of her cabin. She didn't go overboard, and so she went took a really long time to get there, and they went to Ceylon, as Sri Lanka was then, and stopped and met some governor, and then they bombed the port, and so the soldiers who they'd left behind were killed, when they went on the boat back to Australia, and her experiences in Australia weren't happy. That's another story. But I think as a historical story that's changed my life, I think that's quite a good one. So I hope you'll forgive me for that.
Can't really top
That's
that.
amazing. That's amazing. I can't believe that. That's what luck to just on the off chance. Well, I don't know if it's on the off chance, but to have that decision made to jump over to the other ship and then just keep, and they must have been able to see it as well.
Yes, they did, yeah.
It's just watching the ship they were meant to be on go up in flames, presumably. That's horrifying. Wow, definitely changed your life.
Yep.